was round at my friend's house the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, not last night, the night before. Looking at his lovely Freeview, that great big plasma TV screen. He doesn't pay his TV licence. I ain't got a TV, so
No one should.
And there was a little programme on, and it was called A Night of Heroes, the ITV Military Awards. And now, bearing in mind that you know the ITV are really, really good people, they wouldn't tell you about false flags or arrive 25 minutes at places like Woolwich before anybody else.
Well, they certainly wouldn't tell you.
Anyway, I realised that, well, I've got nothing against anybody, or even our coerced men and women who actually are coerced into joining the Army, the Navy, or the Air Force. There's Doctor Who's behind us. Shall we ask him to come in?
No, he's doing the runner.
He said, did you see who that was? It's Bob Hood, Doctor Who.
The late
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Anyway, I realised that, as I say, I haven't got anything against our men and women who are coerced and going to murdering other men, women and children in other countries.
But when they do go over there, they come back and they do know that it's all a scam.
Oh, Cameron was there the other day, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And saying, you know, mission accomplished, a bit like Bush did years ago.
Yeah.
What mission is accomplished? I mean, the heroin...
Well, we've got the poppy fields producing at maximum.
The poppy fields and the heroin is on a massive, massive output since Cameron's men and women have been in there.
Cameron's family got their money from the opium trade.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Good God. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to swear. Good. Yeah, anyway, I realised that, you know, how can you actually call them heroes? Don't get me wrong, it's just a question. How can you call somebody who is coerced into murdering men and women and children in another country for gold, oil and drugs and whatever, how can you call them heroes? It doesn't make any sense. That, I think, is a celebration of war, isn't it? It's Jingoism.
Mm-hmm.
So,
just like Poppy Day.
Jingoism, yeah. And what does the poppy symbolise? We're told it's remembrance about the poppy fields, about the opium, which is manufactured into heroin. And nobody ever seems to get arrested if they've got heroin.
No,
they do if they've got cannabis or cocaine, although George Gideon Osborne isn't arrested. And also, have you noticed, I want to talk about psychopaths. I watched a little film last night on YouTube, and it was this woman interviewing this chap. Unfortunately, he was a serial killer. But I was fascinated in what he got to say, and she was saying, well, how do you sort of groom your victims? He said, well, I'll sort of get to know my neighbours, I'll go and mow their lawn, wash their car and stuff, and just get to generally know them. And he says, and befriend their kids, and eventually he captures them and kills them. But the main thing is what he does, or this is what psychopaths do, is they actually get control and power over others. Does that remind you of anybody? Like the government or your local authority?
Yeah.
So the definition of a psychopath is control and power over others. Someone who gains control and power over others. I don't know who that is in the back who's with Doctor Who, the late Doctor Who. Anyway, who owns the UK, or parts of it?
The Queen and the Vatican.
Who gave them permission to sell it to people like Richard Branson?
The Queen and the Vatican, I would imagine.
So who gave the government permission to sell all of the UK off?
And isn't it strange, we're supposed to be going through these austerity measures, and yet they're still sending millions here and millions there, and like in Nottingham, spending millions on this train
station. Tram. Yeah, 700 million.
But we've got to cut other people. We've got to cut others' jobs.
Oh, you can't do anything for the homeless or anybody like that. You know, the council are not here to serve us. As you know, the government, they are our negative other selves. We've got that right, haven't we? And you are in a virtual reality game that you're co-creating. We've said this before. So basically, what's going on? Yeah? In this game of Annie, or animation, this virtual reality world, our negative other selves, there's only one type of human being on this planet. And you're either positive or negative. It doesn't matter where you're from. But this massive club of take, it's not on, is it? So how come nobody's been arrested? You'd think, in fact, I wrote a little something down here. Do you agree that criminals should be arrested?
Oh, of course.
So how come the government's full of criminals and the local authorities are full of criminals, taking everybody's money and using it for their own benefits? Then how come they haven't been arrested?
Because they own the police.
Okay.
Have you not noticed how...
Who's going to arrest the police?
Well, if it comes down to that, we'll have to do it. But have you not noticed, particularly in Nottingham, all the signs that are around, it's got the Nottingham City Council sign, and then next to it's got the Nottingham Police sign. What they're trying to do is blur them together, particularly with these PCOs or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, even they're blurring it, because you've got the council CEOs and you've got the PCSOs, totally different. But they've blurred it so much, you don't know which one's which. And also it's getting to the point now where they're trying to blur the lines between that and the police. So again, because they're planning on giving these others more powers, which they don't have at the moment, but that's what they're going to plan to. So, well, watch out for the blurring.
So psychopaths and people, men and women who do evil things are not arrested, but men and women who are told to go and kill other men and women and children are actually called heroes. We love you guys, but it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm asking questions, I'm not telling you anything, because something ain't right, something ain't left, something ain't up or down, is it? Something's not quite correct. And I think it's about time that everybody sort of united and became one, for are we not all one, and did something about this. Sorry about the ers. Do you want to do something about this? He's doing something about it with Get Out of Debt Free. But it's a sorry state of affairs, isn't it, when people who you actually pay money to rob the pot, or they rob the public fund. When
they should actually be paying us.
The artist taxi driver he was going on about 30. Thank you. Is that Curtis, the mental patient?
Yeah.
Right, he wanted to see me in hospital the other day. A lot of mental patients want to talk to us for some reason. Anyway, this is the artist mental patients. We may have some more for you later. Some more about insanity and criminality. Because it seems we're in an insane criminal world where our negative other selves just seem to take and not give. But the illusion is that they do give.
But if you want to see
and
some
that's what a psychopath does.
Just watch the Parliament channel, you'll see them at it.
Have you seen them laughing? They're like bigots. Yeah. And there's some people's lives are on the line here. And they just laugh and laugh and laugh.
Well, that's okay, because it's not theirs. Because they've got their increase of 11%.
As the taxi driver said, it's not a recession, it's a robbery. They're stealing it and putting it in other private pockets.
Yep. Their mates' private pockets.
Be well, everybody. We love you.